Okay, let's talk about something that pretty much everyone dreads, getting fired. I mean, just the phrase itself can send a shiver down your spine, right? It feels like the end of the road, like a total failure. But what if it's not? What if it's actually a beginning? Today, we're going to dive into a pretty incredible story that flips that whole idea on its head. Yeah, I know what you're probably thinking. The best thing that ever happened to me? That sounds completely nuts, right? I mean, who says that about losing their job? It goes against everything we're taught to feel. And honestly, it just makes you wonder, how in the world does someone get from that pit in your stomach feeling of being fired to seeing it as a gift? It's a huge leap. So let's unpack that. Let's trace the journey and figure out how that transformation actually happened. All right, so our story kicks off in a place that's probably all too familiar for some. It starts with just pure shock. You know that feeling, the one where the rug is just completely yanked out from under you with absolutely no warning? So picture this. It all went down about 5 years ago. You walk into the office, same as any other day, and then bam. No feedback, no heads up, nothing. Just those 5 cold words. We're letting you go. And just like that, everything changes. Your whole career path just vanishes. It's so abrupt, so disorienting. And the feelings that hit you right after, oh man, it's just this brutal mix. Failure, rejection, that sinking feeling of, I'm not good enough. And then the confusion. You just replay everything in your head over and over trying to figure out what you did wrong. It's just a really painful, lonely place to be. But after that first wave of pain starts to fade, something really interesting happens. This is the turning point, the moment the story takes a sharp turn. The author calls it the necessary plot twist. The focus stops being about what happened to her and starts being about what was really going on inside. And it all kicked off with one simple question. But man, was it a powerful one. It's the kind of question that just cuts through all that noise and self-doubt and gets right to the core of it all. It was simply, was I even happy there? And as soon as she asked that, it was like a light bulb went off. The truth became crystal clear. On the surface, yeah, she was on autopilot, just showing up, collecting a paycheck. But the reality? The truth was that she was totally stressed out, underpaid, and doing work that just didn't mean anything to her. She was slowly burning out, stagnant, and just unhappy. And that was the big aha moment. Getting fired wasn't just losing a job. It was the thing that finally forced her to stop running on autopilot. It was like the universe hit the emergency brake. Yeah, it was painful and totally involuntary, but it was the full stop she needed to actually think about what she wanted. So with that autopilot mode finally switched off, the real work could start. And this wasn't about just scrambling to find another job to pay the bills. No, this was about rebuilding. This was about crafting a whole new path, but this time completely on her own terms. Okay, so instead of doing what most of us would do, panicking, frantically updating the resume, she did something really different. She gave herself a 3-month plan for discovery. The goal wasn't to find a job, it was to find a passion. So she started journaling, talking to mentors, taking some online courses, really digging deep. And guess what? Through all that digging and exploring, something started to click. A new passion started to surface. It wasn't about spreadsheets or boring meetings anymore. It was about digital storytelling and personal branding, about helping other people find their voice and share their own stories. And check out how this whole new thing got started. It wasn't some huge overnight success story. It was all about small, simple steps. First, she launched a blog. Then, she started a newsletter. After that, she made her very first, probably very shaky YouTube video. Each little thing was a brick in the foundation of this new career. And then, something really cool started to happen. People actually started responding. She got a message that said, "Your story made me feel less alone." And wow, can you imagine getting that? It was the proof she needed, that this new path wasn't just for her. Her vulnerability was actually connecting with people. And it didn't stop there. Another message came in, "I'm going through something similar. Thank you."
Each comment, each email was just more confirmation that she was onto something real. By sharing her own struggle, she was literally helping other people get through theirs. This wasn't just a job anymore. This was a mission.
So when you zoom out from this one personal story, you start to see a bigger lesson here. A lesson that really applies to anyone who's ever faced a huge setback in their career. And here it is. Getting fired didn't end her career. Not at all. It redirected it. See, a setback doesn't have to be a dead end. Sometimes it's just that unexpected turn in the road that actually leads you somewhere even better. So, what's the big takeaway for all of us? Well, first, this isn't the end of your story. It might just be that plot twist you didn't know you needed. The most important thing is to give yourself time to heal, time to reflect. And then you get to rebuild, but you do it on your terms. It all boils down to this really powerful idea. Sometimes, losing your job, as awful as it feels in the moment, is the exact push you need to finally find your real purpose.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. What about you? Have you ever had a career setback that actually turned into a breakthrough? Something that, looking back, was a good thing? It's a pretty powerful thought. Thanks for joining me.